here playing Tennin Institute against Kate, and this deck is basically a no remote deck where you fast advance a bunch of stuff out. Don't want those agendas to start with. This is a little better. What are we going to do first? Probably going to show him all of these things to get cash. And pop this ice wall down. This will be more taxing, at least for most of the games, so I want to put that on R&D later on. This is pretty similar to what I played at the regionals in Boston. There's a toll booth, archive memories, commercialization, Eli's ice wall, that kind of thing. We do have upstock on Octagon, so now there's 2 Lotus Field in there. Quite a good card. Okay, hedge fund is great. Let's use that and lock down R&D. Ideally we get some tokens from Tennin, but I'm okay with the runner just wasting time running on archives if they want me to not do that. So we're going to store our tokens on this ice wall and then be really careful not to get it parasited to death, because that really sucks when that happens. Just setting up Lotus Field. Okay. Keep drawing. I could use a Jackson, but I don't think I want to. He didn't run last turn, so let's trigger that as well. Ice. And let's ice archives as well. I have run shock before in Tennin. It's pretty good for the archives until there's criminals with security testing, and then you're just really sad that you played shock. So this quandary will probably discourage him for long enough. Next turn I will probably put the Jackson in and start drawing. Looking to find Trick of Light once I have 2 counters on my ice wall. Okay, click for R&D. Let's see what you have against Surugi. I'm assuming I'll get a Mimic. Okay, Atman 2. That's reasonable. Although quite expensive. Come on in, no token for me. Oh, another hedge fund. Getting quite lucky with the hedge funds. Let's overdraw. Okay. In this situation, I'm going to actually draw again and throw out some agendas. Without Trick of Light or more ice, I really can't score them. This is a nice one-of I find to have in Tennin. It's rarely like terrible because you can just advance, you know, use it as a beanstalk. And sometimes it pays off big. If you have it in your archives late game, you can use archive to get it back and play it again for a bajillion dollars. So there's probably a parasite in this Sergei's future, which is tragic. Yeah, I'm just gonna get a bunch of money. Look, I have no agendas. I do have lots of cash. This will let us res our toll booth, more Surugis, you know, Inazumas, Lotus Fields. We have enough beefy ice that these $21 will not go to waste. Especially if he's parasiting things. I'm not sure what his plan is, but he should probably run this Jackson sooner rather than later. Because as soon as I find my first Trick of Light, I can start scoring things out. Yeah, I'm pretty okay with him paying $4 to get in there. So Inazuma, that's not good to put down right now due to the threat of Parasite taking out my Tsurugi. I just want to draw to get another ice maybe. Grim's not bad. It probably won't actually get him, but it will be quite annoying for him to deal with. And I could put this now and really punish him if he runs without enough money to deal with the Inazuma and the Grim. I wouldn't mind trashing either of these. This is probably more dangerous than the Atman actually, because I have very few other 2-power ice. I've got a Himitsubaku, and 3 Tsurugis, so he's not going to get a ton of value out of the 2 Atman. He's coming to archives for $1. I'll irritate him with his quandary. Or he'll jack out. Interesting. Maybe he'll run the Jackson now, which he should. Nope, he's running HQ. That's fine. I fortuitously have a lot of cash. Well, partly fortuitous and partly that I put a lot of economy in this deck. And partly that he hasn't killed this Jackson yet, so I've gotten extra value from it. He didn't run successfully, so the ice wall gets a little bit larger. It's a pretty great restructure. I'm gonna use that. Use that. I could draw twice and throw the NAPD out. There's already 3 agendas in there though, so it doesn't seem that great. Though he might not have the money to steal NAPD if I leave that there for him. Yeah, I could draw again, but I think I'm just going to work on this ice wall a little more. At the end of my turn, he's going to fetch a parasite onto my Tsurugi. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of that play, given that there's 2 unresed ice right in front of it. Okay, so he's got it working now. Goes back to $2. Because the discount triggered the first time, and then the next time he didn't get it. No problem. Like, there's no point in winning because your opponent had trouble with the interface and forgot their dollar or whatever. Alright, he also did not run, so this ice wall is getting to be mighty. Admin decks have trouble with giant ice walls sometimes. They often just have to fem them, which they don't want to do. Get more economy seems good. So I'm not getting Trick of Light. My options at this stage are to start on a remote, or to just bunker down and continue to get a lot of money. Building a remote is somewhat fraught with peril. Like this I could score in the remote if I wanted to without too much difficulty. But then I've spent cards that are not on my centrals. So what's going to actually happen here is I'll trash the Tsurugi that's dead anyway. Keep my Inazuma Grim combo. And let's send this Eli to the front. Eli is such a good ice. I've probably said before on this recordings, but yeah, he does all the things when it comes to taxing. Katie Jones, sure. So when they do this building up thing, you get so much value for Tennin from that. In a perfect world, you say this till you res the Grim already. But as I've got nothing better to do right now, I'll score it out. He's been really lax on this Jackson killing thing. Like, I know he's not that rich, but you still have to put those agendas back into the deck. So I'm drawing them at least instead of business cards. And so I'm not getting extra value from draws. He's thinking there are 3 ice on R&D, and I want to go to R&D. That's what he's thinking. Oh, he's going to HQ. Yeah, that is almost a doomed endeavor. You have to assume this is an ice wall. I mean, if not a tyrant or a swarm or something, is vaguely possible. Yeah, he can get in this time because he has these tokens, but after they're gone, It's gonna be pretty hard for him. He's probably thinking if he wants to actually spend his tokens. Spend 2, get 1 back. Yeah, it's good to stop me from getting my hit trigger. And now the NAPD is out of reach. Though I wouldn't mind if he did take it at this stage. Okay, so that happened. Oh, he's got another click. Just sees the second ice wall. Yeah. Puts money on Katie. All very smart thing to do. Trick of Light has a ride. That's awesome. We now basically have 3 Trick of Lights we can use. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna install. I don't want him to kill Jackson, so that's fine. And pump this out of his reach so he can't get in again. It's not bad. Then I can commercialize next turn, or eventually when I need to get some more cash. Because if I res all of this, that's 11 right there. The nice thing with this deck is if you start off with a good start, you tend to snowball into more advantage because they just are not getting successful runs on you, or if they are, they're spending way too much for it and didn't set up properly. So once you get into that kind of groove, it's almost impossible to lose. Okay. That makes sense. He's finally going to archives. Send back those agendas because now we're ready for them. Say, yep, you're in. So now he can technically get through all of this if he has enough sucker tokens. Philotic. I mean, I could save this, but I don't think there's any benefit to doing so. Like, I'm fine if he wants to really run my HQ. I've seen people run Reclamation Order instead of the Archive Memories. You know, they're both 2 influence. But personally, I found Archives to be far superior. I mostly want to use it when I only have like 1 Trick of Light in the Archives, so I just keep bringing it back to my hand as I get them. Like, in theory, you could use it to bring back hedge funds, all 3 of them, if you had Reclamation Order. But then you can't actually play all of them and still have hand space. He can get through this, but it's going to cost him. Comes the Inazuma. Okay, so he's continuing on. I could res it, but it won't actually get him. It does mean he can't get in again running here first. But I don't want to give him the bad pub where he's hurting for cash so badly. If I can get one more decent ice for archives, I could purge and then make it pretty hard for him to get back in R&D. Tsurugi. Yeah, that kind of qualifies for what I'm trying to do here. Let's put that. Advance. And we'll get some cash. Giant commercialization, yes. Okay, so he's just going to go to R&D over and over. That's his plan. Makes a lot of sense. He's got the 4 Atman there, which is quite good. Still not much value in giving him a bad pub. Gets the brain trust. Okay, we did want that, but things happen. Quandary is basically worthless. So we're going to purge this turn. And now he's going to have to run our archives in order to get sucker tokens, and he'll need to get 2 of them or he'll get blown out by this Grim. If this Grim would hit his Atman 4, he'd be way behind. Though he'd also be way behind if he hit the data sucker and he didn't have another one. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Parasite Dina Zuma, okay. Oh, he really should not run without any knowledge of the next dice behind it. Pretty brave to do so. So, if I wanted to push this out, it's a pretty good time now. He would need to get another data sucker token. Yeah, I could do that. I could try this as well. It's harder for him to steal. He's so poor, this will probably work. And bring back the Trick of Light. Like, he has the MU, so I could get surprised here, but the upside is I'll be at 5 points very quickly. Such a good card. I'm happy they begun to print better 4/2s and not printing 3/2s. I think most of the 3/2s currently in the game shouldn't be 3/2s. Like, Brain Trust is fine, but obviously Astro's way overpowered. Beta test I'm kind of okay with, but it is a bit strong as well. Now that Jackson is out. Yes, run Fem onto this Grim. Yeah, makes sense. Although he then didn't need to do anything with this Inazuma. Yeah, this R&D is starting to fall apart pretty rapidly. But I didn't spend much money on it, so I'm fine with that. Closed accounts will probably not be relevant this matchup. So the pressure is now on for him that I'm at 5 points and I have Trick of Light in hand. He basically has to lock R&D, or I'll just draw pass and win. RDI, okay. Almost ready to bring back that Tsurugi. Yeah, no point resing that. He'll see 3 cards. Quite awkward for us. Tsurugi would cost him $4 to get through each time. Seems pretty decent. My other option is kind of to just bluff out this medical breakthrough behind the ice wall that he would have some difficulty getting at. It's pretty risky, but if he has tunnel vision over here, it could certainly work. Yeah, feeling lucky, I'll try that. I will not advance it, I'll prance a Jackson. Let's reinforce the R&D here. Big flashing light saying, go over here, go to R&D. And what'll I get back with my archive memories? Probably the commercialization. Oh, the Caprice would be good to have. I'll get the Caprice. If this things go south, I can put the Caprice on R&D and irritate him that way. There's a pretty good chance he either can't or won't get into this remote. I'll just advance trick for the win. Yeah, he's definitely got tunnel vision on R&D. Says, oh, that must be, that's where the points are. I'm going there. Keep him from getting any points. I mean, his problem was he never got into HQ in the first place to see what I had. So the only card he knows about is Trick of Light right now. Oh, he's going to go for it after all. Or is he? He's thinking. He really should. Like, yeah. Okay. So we just need to find an agenda now. Well, he didn't run R&D. Did I miss a trigger previously? No, he came in. This is not automated octagon, so you have to actually keep track, which can be difficult sometimes. Oh, he jacked out by accident. He's going to run and go ahead. So, just to count, there's now going to be 2 more brain trusts and 2 medical breakthroughs that we can draw to win the game. The other NAPD is also potentially a win. Alright, that's slightly annoying to him, but not overly. Let's draw. Doesn't do much. Let's draw again. That I could play. Decisions. No, I'm going to try to find the agenda. Trigger light. Okay. Doesn't do anything. That doesn't do anything, and I can't conceive what it would cost him to tag himself. That can be quite key against criminals, and you have the 2 archives, so you can use it again in the later game. I think for 1 influence, a single copy is worth it. Unfortunately, there are 6 agendas left in the deck, and I didn't draw one last time. So yeah, he's coming in here. I'll make him pay. That will make the NAPDs safe. So as it turns out, if I hadn't been impatient, I could have just double tricked out the medical breakthrough. It's definitely the safer play, so maybe I'll do that next time. Toll booth, can't really pay for it. Next 2 cards are not agendas. Toll booth is tough for him. I think I just get this Caprice going on R&D. And then I'll reinforce with either the Tsurugi or the toll booth. Probably the Tsurugi's safer because the toll booth he could scavenge his fam. He's already shown us to scavenge, so it's a good chance he's playing more. I could have been at 12 if I'd taken back the commercialization instead of the Caprice. What is he doing here? Okay, he's killing the parasite. Or sorry, killing the Eli with the parasite on it. It's $2. Ring says 1. Ending the run. Cool. He could get a bit and try again, but then I can just bid 2 to keep him out. Okay, he's going to spend his $2. Do I want to spend 2 just to keep him from getting in? That makes me pretty poor next turn. I'll spend 1. I think he's going to spend 0. This is just an extortion attempt. Okay, Jackson is really good right now. We just need to draw an agenda into our hand. So Ice Wall. Ice Wall does keep him out. Yeah, I think this is kind of the safe play. Haven't taken the risky play earlier. Yeah. First ice wall placement is pretty critical, but you also don't know where it's going to be needed the most, right? Some shapers are just going to play account siphon or legwork and just pummel your HQ. So having it here is super good. Yep, coming in, and this ice wall will maybe even stop him. Don't think he's got anything for this. Can't afford to search Corroder with the clone chip SMC play. Think he's gonna jack out? No? What's he got? Oh, Grimoire. Oh, that's a fail. Because there's a token on him already. Yep. I mean, he's not accessing, but forgot that would happen if you got a clone chip. I was thinking he couldn't kill it because, you know, this doesn't have a counter on it. Alright, so he did not run successfully. So Ice Wall continues to be a hero. So I need to draw, and then I need to get $2 so I can get an agenda in my hand. I can score it out. No matter what it is. He has not hit end turn. He may have missed it. Okay. So, that's the brain trust. Okay. This is alright for us. We now have $1 to spare on the Psy game, and we can still win. And Jackson can also put in 3 non-agenda cards to dilute his chances. 5 of these 10 cards are points, which is quite unfortunate for us. One of them is an APD, 2 breakthroughs, brain trust, clone retirement. He didn't even run. Okay. Well, that's easy enough. I think his chances... Yeah, so there you have it. That was a little On the danger zone side, because I tried this gamble here and failed it, normally it's very hard for them to get much going on. Like he would have been only at 2 points if I hadn't attempted this, and I would have won 3 or 4 turns earlier. So there you have it. Thanks for watching.